National Electrical Code Article 404.8 addresses exterior lighting. Specifically, Section B, switch location, subsection 3 pertains to dwelling units, guest houses, and accessory structures. This section mandates that the switch or switches controlling exterior lighting for these structures must be located inside the dwelling unit, guest house, or accessory structure, and they must be easily accessible. It's important to note that while the NEC requires the switch to be inside and easily accessible, it does not specify the exact location within the structure. This lack of precise location guidance often leads to questions about best practices and potential conflicts with local interpretations. The key requirement is accessibility. The switch needs to be readily available to the occupant without undue difficulty. This implies a location that is not obstructed, easily reached, and intuitively found upon entering or exiting the dwelling. Now, let's consider other codes and standards. While the NEC provides a baseline, local building codes or standards might impose additional requirements. These local rules could dictate a specific distance from the door or placement on a particular side of the door frame. It's crucial to consult local amendments or interpretations of the NEC to ensure full compliance. For example, some jurisdictions may stipulate that the switch must be within a certain number of feet from the door opening. Others might require it to be on the latch side of the door frame for convenient operation while entering. Always check with your local building department or electrical inspector to determine if such additional requirements exist in your area. In the absence of specific local regulations, general practice often prevails. A common practice is to install the switch for exterior lights approximately 6 feet away from the door, typically to the left or right of the door frame. This placement is generally considered easily accessible. It allows individuals to activate the lights quickly upon approach or departure, enhancing safety and security. This location balances convenience and practicality, placing the switch within easy reach without being directly in a path of entry or exit. If an inspector raises concerns about the switch location and no specific code violation can be cited, it's essential to seek clarification from the regular electrical inspector. A covering inspector's opinion, while valuable, may not carry the same weight as the regular inspector's interpretation, especially if it deviates from established local practice. To avoid potential issues, it is advisable to discuss the intended switch location with the local electrical inspector before beginning the installation. This proactive approach can prevent misunderstandings and ensure compliance with all applicable codes and standards. Here are some additional considerations for exterior lighting switch placement. Firstly, consider the height of the switch. It should be installed at a height that is accessible to all users, including those with disabilities. The Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA, provides guidelines for accessible switch heights, typically between 15 inches and 48 inches above the finished floor. Secondly, think about the type of switch. A standard single-pole switch is commonly used for exterior lights, but a dimmer switch can provide added flexibility and energy savings. A dimmer allows users to adjust the brightness of the lights to suit their needs and preferences. Thirdly, consider the wiring method. The wiring for the switch should be installed in accordance with the NEC and local codes. Use appropriate wiring methods for the location, such as conduit or cable, and ensure that all connections are properly made and protected. Fourthly, make sure the switch is properly labeled. Clearly label the switch to indicate which lights it controls. This prevents confusion and ensures that users can easily operate the lights as needed. Fifthly, consider the aesthetic appeal of the switch location. While functionality is paramount, the switch location should also be visually appealing and blend seamlessly with the surrounding decor. Choose a switch plate that complements the wall color and style of the dwelling. Sixthly, think about energy efficiency. Consider using LED lighting for exterior lights. LED are more energy efficient than traditional incandescent or fluorescent lights, and they have a longer lifespan. This can save money on energy bills and reduce the frequency of bulb replacements. Seventhly, consider using a motion sensor. A motion sensor can automatically turn on the exterior lights when someone approaches the dwelling. This provides added security and convenience, and it can also help to deter crime. Eighthly, think about using a timer. A timer can automatically turn the exterior lights on and off at preset times. This is useful for security purposes and can also help to save energy. Ninthly, consider using a photocell. A photocell can automatically turn the exterior lights on at dusk and off at dawn. This provides consistent lighting throughout the night and eliminates the need to manually operate the switch. Tenthly, consider the placement of the exterior lights themselves. The light should be positioned to provide adequate illumination for the entrance and surrounding areas. Avoid placing the lights in locations where they will cause glare or shine directly into neighboring properties. In summary, while the NEC provides a general requirement for the location of exterior lighting switches, it's crucial to consider local codes, general practices, and accessibility guidelines to ensure compliance and optimal functionality. Always consult with local electrical inspectors and qualified electricians to ensure that your installation meets all applicable requirements. Remember to prioritize safety, accessibility, and energy efficiency in your exterior lighting design. Let's delve deeper into specific aspects of the NEC relevant to this scenario. Article 404.2 Switch Connections clarifies how switches should be connected in a circuit. It stipulates that the grounded conductor, often called the neutral, should not be interrupted by a switch unless the switch simultaneously opens all conductors of the circuit. This requirement is crucial for safety, ensuring that when the switch is off, the entire circuit is de-energized. Article 404.3 Enclosure Type mandates that switches and circuit breakers used as switches must be enclosed in identified enclosures. These enclosures protect the switch from physical damage and environmental factors such as moisture or dust. The type of enclosure required depends on the location and the anticipated environmental conditions. For exterior locations, a weatherproof enclosure is typically required. Article 404.9 Provisions for General Use Snap Switches covers the installation of standard snap switches, which are commonly used for controlling lighting circuits. This section specifies the maximum voltage and current ratings for these switches, as well as the requirements for mounting and wiring. Article 404.14 Rating and Use of Snap Switches further elaborates on the proper selection and application of snap switches. It emphasizes the importance of choosing a switch with an appropriate amperage rating for the connected load. Using a switch with an inadequate rating can lead to overheating, failure, and potentially fire hazards. Now let's talk about practical considerations for wiring the exterior light switch. Firstly, select the appropriate wire gauge. The wire gauge must be sufficient to carry the anticipated current load without overheating. The NEC Table 310.15, formerly 310.16, provides guidance on the allowable ampacities of conductors based on their size and insulation type. Secondly, use proper wiring methods. Depending on the location and local codes, you may need to use conduit such as electrical metallic tubing (EMT) or rigid metal conduit (RMC) to protect the wiring. Alternatively, you may be able to use non-metallic sheet cable, also known as Romex, in dry locations. Thirdly, ensure proper grounding. Grounding is essential for safety, providing a path for fault current to return to the source, tripping a circuit breaker or fuse and energizing the circuit. The grounding conductor should be properly connected to the switch enclosure and the grounding electrode system. Fourthly, use approved connectors and fittings. Use only connectors and fittings that are listed and labeled for the intended application. These connectors ensure secure and reliable connection, preventing loose wires and potential hazards. Fifthly, protect the wiring from physical damage. Run the wiring in a manner that protects it from physical damage, such as from nails, screws, or other objects. Use conduit or other protective measures where necessary. Sixthly, make sure to properly splice the wires. Use approved splicing methods such as wire connectors to join the wires together. Ensure that the splices are properly insulated and protected from moisture. Seventhly, test the wiring after installation. After completing the wiring, test the circuit to ensure that it is functioning properly and that there are no short circuits or ground faults. Use a multimeter or circuit tester to verify the wiring. Eighthly, label the circuit breaker or fuse. Clearly label the circuit breaker or fuse that controls the exterior lighting circuit. This helps to identify the circuit in the event of a problem and makes it easier to troubleshoot issues. Let's consider specific scenarios. Suppose the exterior light is controlled by a three-way switch, meaning that it can be turned on or off from two different locations. In this case, you will need to use three-way switches and follow the proper wiring diagram. The NEC Article 404.2, Switch Connections, provides guidance on wiring three-way switches. Now let's discuss the importance of regular maintenance. Periodically inspect the exterior lighting system to ensure that it is functioning properly and that there are no signs of damage or wear. Check the switches, wiring, and light fixtures for any cracks, corrosion, or loose connections. Replace any damaged or worn components promptly. Also, trim any vegetation that may be obstructing the light fixtures or interfering with the wiring. Overgrown vegetation can create a fire hazard and can also damage the wiring. Furthermore, clean the light fixtures regularly to remove dirt, dust, and debris. This will help to improve the light output and prolong the life of the fixtures. Consider hiring a qualified electrician to perform a comprehensive inspection of the exterior lighting system at least once a year. A professional electrician can identify potential problems and make recommendations for repairs or upgrades. Remember, safety should always be the top priority when working with electrical systems. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, hire a qualified electrician to perform the installation or repair. Always turn off the power to the circuit before working on any electrical components. Use appropriate safety equipment, such as insulated gloves and safety glasses, and follow all applicable codes and standards. By following these guidelines, you can ensure that your exterior lighting system is safe, reliable, and compliant with all applicable codes and standards.